everybody, it's Alejandra with the Osceola Library System and welcome to Indoor Water Garden. Today I'm going to teach you about creating and maintaining your own indoor water garden and how to work with aquatic plants. This is a great method of gardening if traditional gardening isn't exactly your forte. Water gardening is easy, it's low maintenance, and as you can see, they're very, very pretty. So the first thing that we need to talk about is types of plants. So there are three categories of aquatic plants. You have emergent, submergent, and floaters. So emergent plants or semi-aquatic plants are plants whose roots are fully submerged in water and their foliage is above water. So something like this. An emergent plant is completely submerged, both roots and foliage, underwater. And then, as you can tell, a floater or a floating plant is a plant that survives just on the surface of water, so it has a very shallow root system. So some great aquatic and semi-aquatic plants for beginners are water hyacinth or aquarium plants, such as, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, I think it's Miramo balls. They're like moss balls that are great aquatic plants that you can put in a container and look beautiful. And then some floaters like duckweed. I personally love lucky bamboo. This is similar to a lucky bamboo, but it's not quite it. That's a perfect plant for a beginner that's pretty low maintenance and looks great. So indoor water gardens are fully self-sustaining, but you will need to clean them semi-regularly. So as you can see, I have a perfect example here of a plant that does need to be cleaned. So you can see my container here is a little bit dirty. There's a little bit of algae on this one. So you do need to get rid of any dirty water, rinse them, and then place them back in semi-regularly. You can also opt to use some of these aquatic plant food tablets. That's an option as well. I would do these around the same time that you change out your water. You can add in an aquatic plant food tablet, similar how you would fertilize your regular garden. Additionally, you can keep a piece of activated charcoal around as well. If your water does get a little bit smelly or a little bit like muggy, that's a great way to clear up your water and maybe dissipate any smell that may come from your plants. So the next thing that we can talk about is picking your container. So ideally, a glass container is what works best, but any watertight, non-porous container will work great with your aquatic plants. I would suggest that when you do rinse your containers, not to use soap, because soap does inhibit your plant's ability to absorb carbon dioxide. So you would want to just maybe rinse with some water and like a rag or a towel or something, but no soap. Okay, and now that we've discussed maintenance, we've discussed our container choice, a little bit about picking the right plant, we can go ahead and I'll show you how I am going to install this plant. So this one I did remove from its container. I rinsed out the container and we can see all our roots are here. So when you buy a new plant, you would want to maybe rinse the roots of any debris that they might have. And this is a semi-aquatic, but if you have a fully aquatic or an emergent plant, you would want to place your plant in your container first and then put any stones or rocks or soil that you would need to weigh down your plant. Our semi-aquatic, or I believe it's emergent for these, our semi-aquatic plants don't necessarily need soil or lots of rocks or things to weigh them down, but you can definitely add it just if you like the look of it. So I'm going to go ahead and add my rocks into the container. Ooh, I know that's really loud, I'm sorry. And I'll go ahead and add my plant here. Okay. So these plants, I've actually had both of these for about 4 years. And again, like I said, they're very low maintenance. I change the water every couple months once I notice that it's getting a little gross. I throw in a tablet every now and then as well. So I'm going to go ahead and position my plant. And if you want to do a full-on garden and have a bigger container, you most definitely can pair up different kinds of plants, both emergent, submergent, floaters all together and create a beautiful little garden. So I have my water here. Another thing you want to do is let your water, if you're using tap water, let it just sit and let all the chlorine evaporate from it, because that again can harm your plants. So I would either use filtered water, or if you're using tap water, let it sit for about 24 hours for the chlorine to fully evaporate. So I'll go ahead and add my water here. Some nice clean room temperature water up to the top. I just love the way that you can see roots in these aquatic plants. And for this one, I am going to add a plant food tablet because she is overdue for some food. So now you can see here the difference. This one has some aquarium pebbles in it, so that's what the green bits are. But you can definitely see a nice clean, clear container in this water here that definitely needs to be changed. And then another thing that I didn't mention earlier about maintenance is that you do want to, as you would with regular plants, trim off any dead or dying foliage. So as you can see here, I did have to trim off quite a bit. I accidentally left these in direct sunlight. That's why this one it doesn't look so great. But I did end up having to trim off some dead and dying foliage on these. So that's something, again, you have to do occasionally. So that's pretty much it for your basics of water gardening. If you wanted to learn more, I would definitely suggest that you pick up this book, Glass Gardens. This has different setups for terrariums, ariums, and aquariums. So this is a great find if you want to make more little projects like this. If you wanted to do bigger outdoor projects, I would totally suggest the Water Garden Encyclopedia. There are some lovely, beautiful projects here. And here you have some information about floating and submerged plants, like different types of plants. And water gardening in containers as well. So this is a great book to pick up if you're maybe dabbling with an outdoor water garden. That's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you check out osceolalibrary.org for more information about our programs. Our next sort of crafty program is going to be March 17th, which is our Take and Make, where I'll show you how to make a pine cone bird feeder. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a good one, everybody.